Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. I am here today to present you with another call-out guide, and today's episode is going to be on exposure. I couldn't remember the name of the map for some reason all of a sudden. It is a competitive map in all three game modes, so it's really important for you to learn this. And that being said, if you're playing 8s, whether you're playing wages, if you're warming up for ranked play in some way, shape or form, if you're playing challengers, if you're playing, I don't know, even pubs and you really want to win, this video is going to be for you. As I say, we're going to be splitting this video up into two separate parts. The first part being the major callouts, the major areas of the map, the callouts of the areas of the map that you're going to need to know for most occasions. So if they're spawning in a certain area, that's the sort of callouts we're going to give in the first part of today's video. The second part is going to be consisted of all of the minor callouts. So if someone's on a very specific head glitch, if they're laying down in a very specific spot, any common camp areas, I'm going to give as in the second part of the video. Now, before we get into it, I have a question. I'm starting the spawn guide video up, series back up again, and I want to know what map you want to see the first hardpoint spawn guide to be on. What's your worst map? What map can you simply not read? Let me know, and that's the first one I'm going to be working on. If someone's already left a comment saying your map, just like their comment, and the most liked comment is probably the one I'm going to be doing. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I don't think they're going to be changing the spawns again too soon, so hopefully they're going to be well-used videos. But yeah, let's kick it off. So we're starting in the middle of the map. This is P1 right there, because that's where P1 is. We then have Nest up here, and then Crate. Below Crate is P5, and then this half of the map is split into two areas. So this is green, and you can see there's green there, there's green here, and the other side of this map is called blue because there's a lot more blue this side. So we'll start going this way. So if someone's spawning here, you would simply call out their spawning blue. So this general area is called blue. That is blue balk. This is ring. So top ring and low ring. So if they're camping up top there, you could say they're top ring. It's quite self-explanatory, really. We then have, I forgot where the door was. We then have P4. So bottom and top P4. This general area is called loading because it is a loading bay sort of thing. But a common area people like to sit is up here, and this is called 18. So if someone's spawning in this area, you could say they're spawning 18, and people would know exactly where you're referring to. From here, we move through dark, and it's called that because it's a little dark alley. And this is outer. You can go dark on light if you really want to, just to make it quite memorable, but this is dark and this is outer. We then have two sets of solar panels, as you would probably be very aware of. So you have P4 solar, because P4 is in there, and it's close to P4. You then have P3 solar, because P3 is literally just in that building there, and it's a nice way to differentiate between this side and that side. This is P2. This is con, because it connects P2 to the rest of the map. So this is called connector or con. I prefer to go with one syllable, so that would for me is con. Then this whole area is long. But let's say, for example, you're on S&D and you chowed this side and you saw someone on this heady, would call out they're long. Or if someone was pushed you really close and really aggressive and you died just here, you would say, oh, he's our long. Yeah, and that's how you differentiate between the sides here. You then have a similar thing, but for short. So this long area is short, is long. Sorry. You then have short. So if someone's sat on this heady, you'd call out short, and that's where that area is. You have another short there, and again, the way to differentiate between them, you say they're short, our short. It's quite self-explanatory, I think. We then have A bomb. So the AS&D spot is here. So if someone's sort of in this area, you can call out A bomb. We then have server or P3. So it's bottom P3. And just P3. This is plat because it is a platform. So this is plat, quite easy. This is P3 solar. We then have B bomb here. So someone's sort of camping here, or they're just in this general area. They're about to jump up here. You can say, oh, they're jumping a B bomb. That sort of area is absolutely fine to call that out. And then finally we have gens. I say finally, I've missed one thing. So this is gens, and then this little cut through here, I like to call zig. You've got balk, you've got green. Yeah, it's quite simple, hopefully really easy to remember. We're now going to be going through all of the more specific callouts that you're going to need if people are camping in a very specific spot. So first things first, there's a lot of bits over here. So there's a lot of hiding places people can be. There's areas where people can be on top of, playing creddy. If someone's in this area, you would call out vans, okay? is there are 2 vans, so this area is called vans, okay? And some people sit here to watch the spawns or whatever it might be. Someone's coming back here. We call it useless because they're doing nothing for their team, potentially being useless, and there's not much to gain from being over here in this spot. We then have truck. If someone's sat on top of this, you could say, oh, their top truck or their back truck, and this is where that would be indicating. We then have corner van. It's called corner van for why? Because it's in the corner. So you have vans, corner van. We then have plat, which is up here. We then have pillar. So if someone's sat behind here being creddy, just trying to be a hard kill, you'd call out pillar. P3 steps, bottom P3, and then window. It's the only window that really matters in the map, to be honest. We then have contest. So if someone's laying down in P1 here, or they're trying to be difficult by not dying whilst P1's active, you would call out contest if they are here. We have wall run and wall run. So if they're, let's say you were spawning this side and they're running over this side, you would say they're our wall run or they're their wall run. We then have dirt and bush. So a lot of times when P5 is live, people like to play in a creddy spot like so, and you would therefore call out bush if they're this side or dirt if they are in the other side. Moving quickly round through blue, we have this area here. Now there's not a lot of play that occurs over here, maybe perhaps on overload. People here, blue crate, white van, blue van, container. If someone's lurking in here, I don't know where they would be, but let's say they're on top of here, you would call out blue van. If they're on top of there, white van, blue crate. It's quite self-explanatory, guys. We then have deep solars. Obviously there are 3 sets of solars that are fairly commonly used. If someone's up here, you could call out deep solars, and this is where they would be. We then have hex. So someone's camping behind here, maybe trying to defend this overload site. You would call out hex, and it's called hex because it is a hexagon. Really easy to remember, hopefully. Not optic hex. Although, if that's the way you want to remember it, feel free. So within P4, you've got front, side door, and back door. So if someone's pushing this door, you would come front door, they're coming front door, that side door, back door. Quite easy. Hopefully you get the gist. Going around long all the way back through to con. This is P2. Obviously if they're on tank, you would call out tank. Both sides, you have a side with boxes here, you have a side with barrels. So sometimes people chow boxes would be here / here. If they're chowing from here, you call out barrel, and it's the exact same the other side. So again, you've got barrel and boxes. Okay. Back here, you would communicate this as B boxes because B bomb's there, and this is a fairly common place people like to sit, especially if you're after a nice line of sight. A little sneak preview here to my line of sight guides, and this is a really nice place to contest solar panels over here. So if someone was stood on here, killing my team, I would communicate B boxes, and this is where they would be. I don't think I've missed anything. I'm just looking at my guide to my right that I'm going to share. So let's say you're trying to defend P3. There are 3 sets of stairs, 2 main sets of stairs. These are gen stairs because they come from generator. These are van steps because there are the vans this side. So if someone's coming up here, you would say, oh, they're van steps, blah, 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 blah. However, if someone's sat on here on this head glitch trying to be a difficult kill, this is dice because they look sort of like 4 dice. And that is going to be it. I hope you found it useful. As I say, let me know what spawn guide you want next, but also importantly, let me know what call out guide you want to see next. Yeah, that'll do for me. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.